Welcome all to the lecture on Engineering Mathematics 2, MA 8251, Unit 1 Matrices and Section 6, Nature of Quadratic Forms. So in the previous section we have discussed about quadratic form. So now we are going to discuss the nature. So first we will see what is an index. The number of positive terms in its canonical form is called index of the quadratic form. So we have seen what is a canonical form, an expression written in the form of lambda 1 x square plus lambda 2 y square plus lambda 3 z square. If x, y and z are the variables. If the variables are x1, y1 and z1, the corresponding canonical form is lambda 1 x1 square, lambda 2 x2 square plus lambda 3 x3 square. Okay. So the number of positive terms in the canonical form is called the index. How many positive eigenvalues we have? That corresponds to the index. Now signature of the quadratic form is the difference of positive terms and the negative terms in the canonical form. So difference between positive and negative terms in the quadratic form is said to be a signature of the quadratic form. Now if the rank of a matrix A is denoted by R and the signature of the quadratic form is S, signature is difference between the positive and negative terms. Okay. Then the quadratic form is said to be positive definite if the rank is equal to n. N correspond to the order of the matrix. So 3 by 3 or 4 by 4, 2 by 2. So n corresponds to the order. If the order and the rank are same and the signature and the order are same, then we say that the quadratic form is positive definite. If R is equal to n, that is rank is same as the order and the signature is 0, then the quadratic form is negative definite. If R is less than n, that is rank of the matrix is less than the order of the matrix and the signature is equal to R, then we say that positive semi-definite. That is signature and rank are same. Negative semi-definite, if R is less than n and S is equal to 0, then we say that the quadratic form is negative semi-definite. In all other cases, other than these 4 cases, all other cases are said to be indefinite. In other words, a quadratic form is said to be positive definite if all the eigenvalues are greater than 0 and negative definite if all the eigenvalues are less than 0, positive semi-definite if all the eigenvalues are greater than 0 and if at least one eigenvalue, remaining all values are greater than 0 and only one value is equal to 0, then it is said to be positive semi-definite. And one eigenvalue is 0, remaining all eigenvalues are less than 0, then it is said to be negative semi-definite. Now if we have some eigenvalues as positive and some as negative, then it is said to be indefinite. So if we are having both positive and negative values, then it is said to be indefinite. We will see a problem. Reduce the quadratic form to canonical form by orthogonal reduction and discuss its nature. Now we are going to reduce the quadratic form to canonical form. This is our first step. By orthogonal reduction, that is we have to find a matrix P which is a normalized matrix. So using orthogonal mean we should find the normalized matrix, and we are going to discuss its nature and also the model matrix. Now, let the given quadratic form is written in the matrix form, that is coefficient of x square. Here there are three variables, x1, x2, x3. So the diagonal elements has coefficient of x1 square, coefficient of x2 square and coefficient of x3 square. Here there are no x1 square term, x2 square term and x3 square term. Therefore, the diagonal elements are 0. Remaining terms 1 by 2 coefficient of x2, x3. 1 by 2 coefficient of x1, x3. So in that way we should form the matrix A. Now the corresponding characteristic equation is modulus of A minus lambda equal to 0. So we have to minus by lambda in the diagonal elements. We get minus lambda 1 1, 1 minus lambda minus 1, 1 minus 1 minus lambda. After solving this term we get lambda cube minus 3 lambda plus 2 equal to 0. Now solving this characteristic equation we get the eigenvalues as 1 1 minus 2. Hence the given quadratic form reduces to the canonical form. So this is our canonical form general expression. In that replace lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3 values. So this is our canonical form. Now we are going to discuss its nature. Since some of the eigenvalues are positive and others are negative, the given quadratic form is said to be indefinite. It is the fifth condition. So some are positive and some are negative. Therefore, the given quadratic form is indefinite. To find the matrix of transformation, form the eigenvectors. First, we are going to find the eigenvectors. So form the equation A minus lambda I into x equal to 0. The corresponding equations are this. Now substitute for the first eigenvalue lambda equal to minus 2. We get the equations as given. Now solving the first and second equation. So write from the coefficient of y. So coefficient of y is 1, z is 1, x2, again y. So 1. Similarly from the second equation 2 minus 1, 1, 2. Now take the cross multiplication. So this is the value of x and this is y and this is z. So x divided by minus 1 minus 2. Y divided by cross multiplication of these two terms. 1 plus 2. Z divided by now cross multiplication of these two terms. 4 minus 1. So which gives x by minus 3, y by 3, z by 3. So divide throughout by 3, we get minus 1, 1 and 1. So the corresponding eigenvectors are minus 1, 1, 1. Now we want to form the normalized form. So take the square root of minus 1 square plus 1 plus 1. So we get root 3. Divide each term by root 3. We get the normalized form as minus 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3 and 1 by root 3. Now corresponding to lambda equal to 1, we have two same eigenvalues. So if we are having same eigenvalues, then the following procedure is used. So first lambda equal to 1. So in the place of lambda replace 1. We get these three equations. Okay. Now since these three equations are similar equations, so first equation can be written as x minus y minus z equal to 0. So all the three equations are same. So we are going to consider any one of the variable equal to 0. If we take y equal to 0, so in this term if we take y equal to 0, we get x minus z equal to 0, which implies x equal to z. Therefore, the two eigen vectors of the elements x and z are same. Okay. Now if we take x is equal to 1, then Since x and z are same, z is also 1. We have considered y as 0. So the corresponding eigenvectors are 1, 0 and 1. Write in the normalized form, divide by root of 2. So 1 by root 2, 0, 1 by root 2. This corresponds to second eigenvalue 1. The third eigenvalue is also same, but we should not take the same eigenvectors. The eigenvalues may be repeated, but eigenvectors should not be repeated. Okay. So to find the eigenvector lambda 3, that is corresponding to lambda equal to 1, we are going to find the eigenvector x3. Consider x3 as Lmn. Since x3 is orthogonal to x1, we can write x1 value is -1, 0 and so x1 value is -1, 1, 1. So -1, 1 and 1. Okay. Now we have took x3 as Lmn. So take the product. Since x1 is orthogonal to x3, minus L plus m into 1 plus n into 1 equal to 0. So this is one expression. Also x3 is orthogonal to x2. So we are forming the orthogonal transformation. Similarly, x3 is orthogonal to x2. The value of x2 we have found as 1, 0 and 1. Okay, so here now take the product of x2 and x3. L plus 0 plus n equal to 0. So solving these two equations, we get the values as L by 1, m by 2 and n by 1. The corresponding eigenvectors are 1, 2 and -1, and write the normalized form. Hence the modal matrix is P is equal to -1 by root 3 here. This is the modal matrix, -1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3 is the first normalized vector, and this is the second normalized vector we have found here, and the third normalized vector is here. Hence this is our new formed modal matrix. Thank you.